morning. I hope that you are having an amazing time in the Ozarks. So I kind of had a little bit of an epiphany, which is funny because you talk about renting out your houses all the time. And I've rented a house, Dave and I rented 2 different houses before moving into buying our house. So it's like I should have been on this track, but I wasn't. But I was really thinking that the kids and I would move into an apartment. I've done the apartment living before. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing apartment living with kids. I know some people are like, oh, well, I would never want to have kids while I was in an apartment. Like, I grew up in apartments. I didn't know any different. I do like having the yard for the kids, but the kids don't even really use the majority of the yard. They use the back patio where their mud kitchen is. And that's really all they use. They go back to where the like rock pile is, and they get rocks and they collect those and bring them over to the mud kitchen, and they play in the dirt back there. But like, it's funny because I figured kids would love the grass, right? They really don't care that much for it. But I like having that for Passato. So that's probably the main thing that triggered my thought so Cali and I went and looked at 3 different apartments yesterday, and they were nice. Like, they are the ones that I looked at, the area that I'm looking at, like just the ones in general. There was one apartment complex that I went in that probably would have been cheaper, but I literally drove into the parking lot, and I don't know. I don't want to say it was just judgment on the way that it looked, but more so, being an empath, that vibe of, I don't like the vibes of this place. And I drove through the parking lot, and we don't even stop to look at the apartments. I just was not feeling it. So, I went out last night, so I slept in until 7:30 this morning, which felt really nice. And then that's what I woke up, and I was thinking about it. And so the apartments, oh my God, if I do it, they're just ridiculously expensive right now. And the thing is, I know apartments are more expensive than homes because I lived in one for 2 years before renting a house with Dave. And then we were able to rent what was the first one? A 3-bedroom on Mary Street. Is that a 3-bedroom, 1 bath? Maybe. We were able to rent a 3-bedroom, I think it was. I don't think it was only 2. I think there was a 3rd bedroom, but we just never really used it for anything. 3-bedroom, 1 bath for cheaper, with this amazing yard that had literally, it was fenced all the way around the house. So it was this really cool track that went all the way around the house with the grass, so Snickers could literally run around the house. And I was like, oh my God, Passato would love something like that. But that one, the fence was low, and it was fine for Snickers. Snickers never would have jumped that fence, but Passato would be jumping that fence every single day. And So it would need to be something with a higher fence. But I was like, I think I need to look at houses instead of apartments, because they were seriously like, the cheapest starts at 1,800. Then there are application fees, admin fees, deposits, which I get. I know you normally have to do like first and last month's rent. Pet deposits, some of them had refundable, some of them had refundable and not refundable fees, like, a cleaning fee for the dog, for the animals. And then pet rent, and then water, sewer, trash, and then electric. So, plus internet, which I get, I do here because I pay the Mesa bill, which the water, sewer, trash is like expensive. It's usually like 140 to 180, sometimes more a month. Like, it just depends on how much I run my sprinklers, really. So I do have to keep in mind that that is a large expense. And electric and internet, but so with all that stuff on top of it, and the base rent being 1,800 was like the cheapest, and I wasn't really feeling the vibes of the girl that was working there. And I just feel like oftentimes the employee vibes speak for the community vibes, because you're gonna attract a certain crowd, and if you're not a friendly like employee, I feel like that's the type of crowd you're going to be attracting. So the first one we looked at, I did not feel like she was very friendly. Kelly was like, I like her. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I like her. She's fine. I like the second guy better. That place was like 2,300 for a 2-bed, 2-bath. Like, okay. Plus all the fees. And they even had a $10 $10 a month amenity fee. So then it was funny because when he was like giving me a tour of the place, and I've never seen that before, and it's $10, but it's like, no, like, what? Like, you're seriously just tacking this on there when that's not supposed to be the case. Like, amenities are supposed to be included, right? In an apartment, like, that's the whole purpose. But they have like a separate fee on top of their base rent. So these apartments were really nice. So taking the tour, we get to and the thing is, I don't need a fitness center. Like, I looked at all three of the places. They all three have a fitness center. I have no desire for a fitness center. I don't like to do that kind of working out anymore. I've never really liked, we've talked about this numerous times. I don't like to go to the gym. I just don't. Going to the gym is not fun for me. I also don't like yoga. Fucking everybody loves yoga, and everybody talks about how much they love yoga. I don't really care for it. I've never personally found a yoga class that has resonated with me. I did it for a while, and I loved Nikki, the teacher. The one that I did, the mommy and me yoga, and it was nice to get out with Cali and like, do something where I could bring her. And I love the idea of the class, but doing the actual like yoga just does not do it for me. And I've done hot yoga, like a flow kind of hot yoga, and I've done the Bikram yoga, which I want to say was also hot, maybe not. Yes, I've done both. Is Bikram always hot or no? I can't, no. I think one of them was not. And then I did do one that was like a Bikram hot yoga. And then, I mean, I like to stretch okay, but I don't like yoga. It does not resonate with me. So anyways, I don't need a fitness center because I'm not going to go in there and go fucking run on a treadmill. That to me is like a hamster running on a wheel. Like, no, thank you. I want to be out. I want to go explore. If I'm going to go get my exercise, I'm going to, or go dancing like I did last night, which was so much fun. God, and I'm learning, right? Like, so I think for me, when I'm dancing, I'm doing a lot better now at following. Um, but it's when the guys spin you, but they let go, but they like push you to spin you, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, you're pushing me. What am I supposed to do? And I usually kind of like freeze there. So that one I'm learning, and then I learned this one guy, he did something and he raised his arm, like, so we were, I don't know, holding hands, and he raised his arm up, and he goes, when I raise my arm up, you go underneath. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's like, just needing to know like what to do in certain situations, but I feel like I'm getting a lot better, and it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna go hiking, or I'm gonna go for a jog outside. I'm not gonna go fucking run on a treadmill. I'm not. So like, you and I have talked about that. I never understood, like, when I would go to the gym, I'd go in like 45 minutes and be like, I'm done, I'm bored. Like, I get bored even before that. And I know Dave used to want to spend like hours in there working out, and I'm like, no. That was another thing. It's like, that should have just been our own, like, okay, you go to the gym, I'm gonna go hiking. Peace out. I'll see you later. Like, if you like to go to the gym, fine. I don't. I'm gonna go do this instead. We were very, very codependent. And of course, it ended up usually being me going and doing what he wanted. But then I would always get bored way before he was wanting to be done and go home. So again, it's like drive separate. We did go to the gym for a while when we were training for jiu-jitsu tournament. We worked out like together. It was fun. Yeah. I think it was just fun because it was like time spent with him. It was not actual working out that was fun. Although I do like to do some of the cable work for my arms, because I like it when I have like defined arms, which I do not have right now. But I think maybe I want to do other stuff, like, I don't know, maybe archery. That might define my arms, right? So anyways, ADD. I think the biggest thing besides price and listening to you talk about renting your places and being able to rent them out for cheaper. God, I would love to be a renter from you, like, so bad. I wish that you were like we were also like somehow in the same space, and I have no desire to be in Illinois, which and you have no desire to be here in Arizona with the heat. But being able to be a renter from you would just be like heaven, because like, you're an amazing landlord and I'm an amazing tenant, and I don't need a mom. And I can I know how to change my light bulbs and plunge a toilet and, do all the things. And I know how to treat pull strings with kindness. And, I would just, yeah, I think, having somebody like you as a landlord who understands and isn't fully jacking up the rent either to like a ridiculous amount where it's more affordable. But I can do my shit, right? But I don't want maintenance. Like, sorry, well, like, maintenance to a certain degree, yes. Like, if the hot water heater broke, I don't want to deal with that. But like, yard landscaping, there we go, that's what I'm saying. And I would love to be. So what I did was, I was like, okay, so let's write down what you want. So I have 1,800 max, 1,600 preferred for cost. I would really prefer something closer to 1,600. 2 bed, 2 bath, yard where someone does the landscaping for me, community pool heated, and grills with propane. Because, I mean, they have that kind of stuff in apartments. I feel like maybe in a community with like an HOA kind of a thing. But then again, then there's like the HOA, right? But I don't know. That's why I'm working through this. All appliances included because I'm leaving my appliances here. Landlord does the maintenance. So obviously I change light bulbs and whatnot. And then I put down doggy door. That was another huge thing where I was like, I don't think I want a dog in an apartment right now. Kids are fine, but I don't think I want Passato in an apartment right now because yesterday, I don't have a doggy door right now. And yesterday, I had let Passato out. Cali and I went out looking for apartments. Passato, had an upset stomach and had diarrhea on the floor. So we get home and it smells, and I had to, I wanted to get stuff ready for Dave to pick up because there was 3 things he wanted. And I'm trying to get rid of as much stuff in this house as possible. So I was like, I want this stuff out of the house. So I didn't clean up the shit immediately when we got home because I wanted to make sure the stuff was outside for when Dave came to pick up Cali. So I opened up the windows and then lit a candle. And then, when I was done putting that stuff outside, I went and cleaned it up. But I'm like, if I'm in an apartment, there's potentials that that's going to happen because I can't just go open up a sliding door and let him outside. I'd have to go physically take him for a walk. And when it was just Snickers and I, absolutely no problem walking him multiple times a day, taking him to the dog park in the community. And that was another thing. I was like, I have to live in a community that has the dog park, right? Well, that's basically a yard. Because of that. But even just the thought of having to take him out multiple times a day was overwhelming. Where I'm like, I take him for a walk now, once a day. It's not enough. I know. I would really prefer to do once in the morning and once in the evening. I'm getting there. But I also have the pet walker that comes to help, and then when Esperance is here, she takes him for runs every night. And then I'll take him for bike rides sometimes so that he can sprint, and then sometimes I'll take him to an apartment complex dog park so that he can run. But the thought of having to walk a dog, I don't even know, at least 3 to 4 times a day, and having the dog park thing in there. But just the thought of that right now with the 2 kids was kind of overwhelming. And we'll go out back and play and stuff like that. But the walking him part, I was like, man, I'm going to have to do that a lot more. And that's overwhelming. So that's why I put on there with the doggy door for the yard, so that he can just come and go as he pleases. And the same thing with parkour, because she is, I want her to be able to go outside and explore and stuff like that. So somewhere with a doggy door, so that then she can just come and go as she pleases. And then soaking tub, that's a necessity for me. It's got to have one. And all 3 of these apartments had really nice deep tubs, and I was like, oh my god, it just, seeing it in every single one, I was like, this looks amazing. If it had the jets, cool, but I'm not it doesn't necessarily have to have that. But if it had it, cool. If not, a soaking tub, just large closets, a social community with good vibes, and then I put down social room, maybe with free Wi-Fi for me to get out of the house to be on the computer if desired. Because me, I don't like to do that stuff from home. I'd rather go to a Starbucks, which I could still go to. So I said renting a house instead of an apartment, downsizing and taking maintenance off my hands, lots of light. And then I was talking about, I was like, oh man, the house on Mary Street with the yard where Snickers could run all the way around the house. Thought I would love that, but the fence needs to be higher. And then I said something with nice landscaping, like rocks out front, maybe grass and trees out back, but just something like with a small backyard. Like nothing big. Like even if it just had like a little patch of grass, that would be nice. And even that, if it had like a little patch of grass, could I mow that? Maybe. Like if it was a little patch of grass, I don't think I would mind doing that. My backyard is like pretty big with grass. But I also don't have a lawnmower. Not that I couldn't just get one, but then, there's upkeep and stuff with that. But if I had a little patch of grass, I might be okay with that. I'd have to really think about that one. But like a pool and stuff like that, I would love to have one. But like, I don't want to do the maintenance. So, I mean, could I live in a non-HOA community? Have a pool? I would find my kids out back in the pools all the time. I mean, at least Hobbes knows he can't swim right now, so I don't think he would just like go impulsively jump in the pool, and Cali can swim. So I'm like, not concerned about that. But Hobbes knows he can't swim. So so he always he likes to have his floaties on, and now he'll jump in from the diving board like in the deep end with his floaties on. Like these kids are getting amazingly confident with the water. It's so cool. And I know Hobbes will be there like super quick with actually being able to swim. I know he'll be there in like a heartbeat. I just don't want to do the pool maintenance. So maybe if because Dave and Sam live in an HOA community. Because they have somebody that comes in and does. Oh, I didn't tell you this. Callie told me somebody comes in and mows their lawn for them. So Dave still doesn't do it. I thought that was hilarious. Also, sorry, I'm just still trying to think through that. But like if it had a little patch of grass, I almost want to say turf instead of grass, just for like a year. I kind of want to just say it has turf instead of grass. Parkour can't go outside and eat the grass. And that's the only thing, because she loves to go outside and eat the grass. Maybe she ventures out to the front and maybe somebody else's lawn in the front has grass that she could eat. That would be ideal. Because if it did have a pool, but it had like some turf, had some trees that don't require much maintenance or upkeep, like if it needs to be trimmed, they have somebody that comes in to trim them. I don't know how often trees need to be trimmed. But rocks out front, and then in the back, if it had like more landscape but with turf, but did have a pool, heated pool preferred. Again, then there's the cost of the electricity, right? But I would love to have a heated pool. I think I could suck that. I think I would want that. I'm trying to think through all this, because then if it was a non-HOA community but a very friendly community, like good vibes, social, and then if they just had somebody like as part of it that just came in and did because I like having a pool. I do. Could I just take the kids to go to a pool? So maybe if there was like a pool close by and I could take them. But we go like to the pool pretty much every weekend that I have them. I guess I could do that and take them to a pool if there was like like a city pool close by. Because we go like every other weekend, like once. But then not having to do the upkeep. I mean, that one, I don't know. I'm trying to think, because then I wouldn't have to pay the electric to heat the pool, right? And then we could just go to the city pool. Okay. So something like that. Because I was thinking if it had a pool in the backyard, and then they had just somebody come in and do the maintenance. But again, we don't use it every day. So it's not like I need it there every day. So we could go drive to it when we go. So that might be better. So some sort of like a smaller landscaped backyard with turf. So I don't have to do any upkeep, any maintenance on it. And then like a city pool close by so that I can take the kids there to go swimming. And then I don't have the cost for the electricity there. Okay, this is why I'm doing this and working through this. So let me know what else I need to think about to manifest, bring this into my reality. The perfect living situation. I think I already said all appliances included. Let me know what else I'm missing that I need to, since you rent houses. You rent out houses. What else I need to be thinking about so that the perfect living situation can fall in our lap. But I think it needs to be a house instead of an apartment. Yep, that's basically where I'm at with this. And obviously it has to be pet friendly to accept both pets. I get that. I get that there's an extra fee for that, for pet rent. Do you have a fee for pet rent? If not, then I'm giving you all sorts of ideas, because you really should have like the fee for, it was like a $35 to $40 fee per pet per month. And then most places had a refundable $200 pet deposit and a non-refundable. It was $150 to $200. 35, $150, $40, $200. And then they had a $200 non-refundable pet cleaning, which I get because, pets do require more cleaning, upon moving out. Okay, so I think it needs to be just a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house instead of an apartment. I think that's where I'm at. So now I need your help with coming up with what all I need to be thinking about with the house so that it can fall in my lap. All right. I love you. Happy Tuesday.